and life is better without any other substances. Between
Yes.
between almost dying and then my kids, it was just like I'm over this 100%. And I mean, between the
Definitely.
other times whenever I quit drinking and all that, so between quitting and all that and just knowing like how much better you feel, and then you just question
Mm.
why do I keep going back? And
Yeah,
now
I'm looking
it's
at that picture of the neck injury or where the surgery took place. It's pretty gnarly looking. Wow.
yeah,
I
it's
saw that.
yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, there's the drain tube that was in my neck too.
This is Rock Bottom with Ryan. No sugarcoating, no filters. The pain, the chaos, the truth. No bullshit. Just recovery.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to welcome you to another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan. Just want to let you know this episode is brought to you by Sober Strong Apparel. Sober Strong Apparel isn't just lifestyle wear, it's battle gear. Heavyweight tees, hoodies, and gear for ones who draw a hard line. Clean, sober, no compromise. We rep sobriety like a badge of honor. And every piece you throw on says you're a part of the crew that doesn't back down. Every order fuels recovery with 10% donated to treatment facilities because we don't just talk about it, we stand on it. So go to SoberStrongApparel.com, use code ROCKBOTTOM, all capital letters, for 15% off. Now 15% off. Awesome site, awesome clothes. Quality is amazing. The clothes looks good. Wearing a shirt as we speak. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and definitely check out SoberStrongApparel.com. Welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan and Rachel, here with my favorite co-host today, Rachel Sereni, and Skyler is our guest today. Skyler, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. We're really
Good.
happy to have you on today and been excited to interview you and hear your story and share it with the world. So a couple basic questions since we're talking recovery today. Do you have a sober date? What was your drink of choice? Where you're from? All that stuff.
October 25th was my sober date when I stopped drinking and everything. Lake Havasu City, Arizona is where I grew up. Born in Utah, moved basically my whole childhood in Arizona, though. Party town, nothing to do out there except for party, get in fights, nothing good out there basically. God, I don't know. Out of drink of choice, I was all over the place basically. I think it kind of more depended on the mood, the month, weather, all over the place, really.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, I
But
get it. Havasu is a cool place as far as I remember. I don't remember my trip there, but I was there one time.
yeah,
Sounds fun.
exactly. And that's the thing. It's a blur when you go down there.
Yeah, it's a
I
huge,
mean,
everybody's out on boats partying, right?
yeah. Oh God, yeah. And you get mixed up into it, and yeah, it's fun and exciting. But yeah, you won't remember much of your trip down there.
Exactly.
But
Definitely
it's
didn't.
it's it's beautiful out there. It's just you're stuck in the middle of a desert in the middle of nowhere with an hour either
Mm.
direction to get in or out.
Oh, okay. So
And
alcohol
you
was your main.
were,
Sorry, Rachel.
that
You go.
was my next question. I was going to say the same thing. Was alcohol your main drug of choice, or did you dabble into things?
I kind of went all over the place. It was mainly alcohol, but I mean, I started drinking really to get drunk at 15, and then so it was in between the drinking and then smoking weed. After that, it was just, I mean, there was acid, there was mushrooms, ecstasy, coke that went through. So it was a town where you just kind of got what came through. So
Yeah.
I was kind of all over the place. Basically nothing with needles or anything nasty like that, or no smoking
Yeah.
out of a glass pipe.
Whatever was convenient and kept the night going.
Yeah, basically. And yeah, and there was a decent amount of hallucinogenics and all that. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
it was just kind of all over the place, whatever was around.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I think Rachel
tell.
and I can relate to that.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I could relate to that. It spiraled into things thought I would never try. Ever. But would you
Yeah.
mind taking us back and telling us more about maybe your upbringing, your childhood? Did anything, go down that led you into drinking? And what was your first drink like, that experience?
Well, my childhood, it was not exactly an ideal childhood. So it was a lot of drinking around between parentals and then, family friends over and all that. So there was a lot of drinking. more drugs that, I mean, they were more in the background. Nobody really paid attention to that as much. So definitely the drinking, seeing everybody do it, that kind of led me to drinking. So between Christmas parties and all that growing up, I know there was some drinks in there, little kids, because you see your parents doing it and you're just like, oh, they're doing it. Oh, let's have a little drink. So I mean, I don't know, we were probably 10, 12 years old when we had a little, little Jack Daniels here and there off of it. And then I would say, yeah, it was about 15 whenever I first completely got hammered intentionally. And it was just off of cheap beer. And then it went from that vodka in plastic bottles, Mad Dog 2020,
Mhm.
anything cheap basically to get hammered on.
I
So
did
that
that
was,
too.
oh, it's harsh, yeah. So I mean, through the family life and all that, the parents were never really around, kind of abusive. So there was a lot of chunks of times where our parents weren't around or my mom bought us beer. So it was always easily accessible. So, and there's times where parents would be gone for a month. That's kind of what you did. You just got drunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
pretty much
your
between,
did you feel
yeah, go
like
ahead.
you were attached to alcohol? Like, did you feel that first buzz and you're like, oh my gosh, this is living, this is what I want to feel, and you kept doing it, or was it kind of a one and done? Oh, I got sick, or did you feel hungover the next day and just decide not to drink as much?
No, I did. I mean, I was hungover, especially the first time drinking. I mean, it was like a 6 pack. I think it was, what the heck was it? Red Dog beer, which it was a really bad one. And no, it was I drank, and then after that, it was just kind of like an escape from everything with, a shitty childhood and home life and all that. So it was just a way to escape and not feel anything, basically. So after that, it just kept going where it was like, oh, you got drunk one weekend, then it was like 2 days a weekend, and then just went into where it ended up anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week. So yeah,
Yeah.
it just opened it up, and yeah, I just wanted more and more at the time.
What was your relationship with your family and all that then, throughout those days, like teeny years and stuff?
My dad wasn't really around, and growing up, I hated him for it basically because he was never there, never joined any like sporting events or anything like that. But as I grew older, then I realized that he was basically the only one working and providing for the family, so he had no choice.
Mhm.
But of course, as a kid, all you see is that dad's not there, so you dislike your dad. So there was
Right.
no relationship really with him at the time. And then my mom was there. She wasn't working or anything, and she was semi taking care of us, not really. So she was just kind of background out there, and she was drinking a lot, doing drugs, and later found
Mhm.
out, that she was more of like the town bicycle. So yeah, it was just chaos, basically.
It's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there,
I was
there was
gonna
nobody to.
ask that. I was gonna ask, was she using or was she just, suffering from mental illness? I come from a addict mother, so I understand that. And then you said the town bicycle. I'm gonna repeat that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. She still drinks heavily. I think it was more once she lost her mom and then her dad is when she really started drinking heavily. But she was always, she always had drinks, and she hid the fact that she smoked cigarettes from us and all kinds of stuff. So, and it was like mid teens and all that is more where you realize there was more drinking and then like coke and stuff that was involved in all of it.
Yeah. How did
Yeah.
so you felt kind of like your dad kind of abandoned you, so you kind of maybe had some abandonment issues there, and then a mother who was kind of living her own life, so you didn't feel like you felt kind of neglected in a lot of ways, and probably a lot of freedom to do your own thing.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little too much freedom on that part because yeah, when you have no boundaries and you just kind of push the limits to see like what am I going to get in trouble for that's finally going to trigger it, and it's kind of a way of getting some sort of attention basically, even if it's not the right attention that you want. But it's like, oh, okay, they actually do pay attention to what I'm doing a little bit. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think with my dad too, his part of his was a hard upbringing too with military family and all that. So I think it was just he just was not used to giving attention or affection towards anybody as well. All growing up and all that, it was, I want to say the first time I really remembered him hugging me, I was 24 years old. And my first thought was like, are you dying? Like, why are you
Mm,
hugging me? So it was,
right.
yeah, he was just kind of there, more or less working, come in, pass out, go back to work again. So it was definitely no relationship on that part. But once I hit about mid
Mm-hmm.
20s and now, like, yeah, I talk to him all the time. We're basically the same damn person. And I think that's why we clashed and butted heads and didn't get along at all.
Mm-hmm.
So now things are a lot better and smoothed out and all that. But yeah, with my mom, I don't know. I talk to her maybe once a year or something like that. And I've probably seen her 2 or 3 times over the past 10 years,
Wow.
Mm.
but I don't know. No real big loss on that one.
No, it's okay. It's part of growth and it's part of boundaries that you need to keep for your own self and sobriety. So I understand. Definitely. And so you were drinking for sure, it sounds like, to help with the feeling of neglect and to feel like you belong.
Yeah, and I mean, and then after that, it just with the crowd I hung out with, so it was just something we all did. Yeah, and it's why not, when you got nobody telling you not, like no to do anything. So it was just drink and push the boundaries and see where it goes from there, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, totally. How did it start to progress into like later teen years, like in high school and stuff? Did it start to get turned in from like a social thing into like an everyday thing?
Yeah, I mean, eventually I ended up dropping out of school to work and to where then I had money because there was not really a lot of money in the household. And there was no push to go to school or anything. So I ended up getting a job working full time, basically so I could have stuff. And then then I bought more drinking, more drugs, and all that. Some of my other friends
Oh
that I
yeah.
hung out with, some of them stayed in school, but it's like I still had that same group of friends that we all partied together and drank and all that. But so
Mhm.
once I hit 18 years old though, I went so hard with everything. I hit 18 years old and then I completely quit drinking and all that. So went
So
totally
you
drug and
went sober.
yeah, I went sober and I went on a run for 8 years at one point in time, and that was just dropping everything cold turkey one day at a keg party.
Hmm. And what made you
Wow,
do that?
interesting. Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
Um, it was just kind of watching all the people. And it was one of those,
Hmm.
the movie Dazed and Confused when they're sitting in the back of the truck and the dude stands up and he's all fucked up and sits right back down. And I kind of just looked at everybody and I was like, what are we doing? We're a bunch of
Yeah.
retards out here in the middle of a desert and a bonfire and people are like falling over everybody. It's like people are huffing gas out of like motorcycle tanks and stuff. And it was just one of
Jeez.
those moments where I was like, I handed my buddy my beer and I was like, hey, dude, take this. I'm done. And he's like, are you too drunk? And I was like, no, I am done. So
Wow. So did you like raw dog sobriety, or like did you start working on like things like go to the meetings and stuff, or you just like screw alcohol and just cut that out?
yeah, no, I just straight up just dropped it. So dropped it, kind of stopped hanging out with my friends. And then I want to say it was like 2 months later, then I left for Washington. So just complete change of pace, different scenery, getting away from all the people and all that. And so ran into like a bunch of straight edge kids out there and all that. And so that helped push it and, kept on track for 8 years.
Hmm.
But yeah, no,
And
and it
then you were
was,
Part
on
of
track.
Washington. Which part of
what's
You're
that?
on
Washington did
track
you go
for
to?
8 years. Well, hold on. You go ahead, Ryan.
Which part of Washington did you go to?
I was up in Federal Way for a long time. So Federal Way
Oh,
and
okay.
then like in Tacoma.
Yeah, South
So
End kind of.
yeah. And that was a nice part up there is there was a big music scene and all that. There was a lot of straight edge shows and hardcore shows and all that. And so it was a nice change to get me out of things. And then
Hmm.
it was after 8 years, I don't know, it was the whole scene up there. Like I kind of got annoyed with it and then stopped hanging out with people and it was kind of one of those where like, oh, I'm in control in life. Like, what's one beer? And then it's like one beer and boom, you're getting hammered again.
Yeah, that's how it happened. What went through your
Yeah.
head when you like took that first beer? Like after 8 years, you're just like, okay, I can drink again. Like, what was going through your head?
I don't know. It was kind of one of those where it was like, is this the right decision? I don't know. But then after a couple beers, I felt, warm, fuzzy, and happy. And I was like, screw it, whatever. This is fun. Hanging out with friends and all that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't until a little while down the line where it's just like, dude, that was stupid. Why the hell did I go back to the same place I was? But
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, after that, I didn't go as hard as what I did growing up in Arizona. It was more just drinking with some friends and all that, going to Seattle, partying and all that. And over time, it got more and more. So I hit times where I went so hard again to where then I quit. I quit another time, I think for 2 years. I did another time for 3 years. So it was never like a huge problem. It's just kind of shutting it off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was it getting into any like legal trouble or anything?
No, I actually haven't got into any legal trouble with it since I was a minor. So growing up in Arizona,
Okay.
I think I got arrested like 4 times for underage drinking down there. So that was kind of part of it too, where I was like, I just got to leave the town. It was like cops knew me by first and last name. So after that, it's
Yeah.
just like, all right, it's time to get out of this place. So other
Yeah.
than that, like no DUIs, nothing like that, thank God. So yeah, and
Mhm.
once I left Arizona, no running with cops or anything like that.
Did you
And
start
then
to
when
hit the
did you
biker
start?
scene?
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
gonna.
Rachel.
Damn again. When
What do
did
you?
you start writing? That's what I was gonna. When did you start writing? Was that part of your whole life?
Well, it was like dirt bikes and stuff in Arizona, and then between my dads and uncles, like they all rode Harleys and all that. So it was always being around bikes and all. I can't remember. It's been 6 or 7 years up here, like riding Harleys on the road and all that. Other than that, it was a lot of dirt bikes and everything.
And you're
So, and
still
that's,
writing though, right?
yeah, oh yeah. That's what, as soon as we jump off of this, I'm going to hop on the motorcycle and go ride. We got a couple days, decent weather with a little sunshine up here right now. So I ride as
You're
much
in
as possible. And then,
California,
no, Oregon.
Oregon. I'm in
Yeah.
Florida,
So,
so
oh,
foreign.
we're all, yeah. Yeah. And
So
it's,
was drinking and drugs? I've heard that's kind of sometimes a part of the motorcycle scene. Was that any kind of issue for you trying to stay sober in that kind of scene?
I mean, there is a lot of it that surrounds it and all that. Luckily, like, I don't have a lot of people around me that try and force it on you or anything, because I don't do any of the club stuff or anything like that. It's just a bunch of friends and all that we ride together. I mean, if there is any drugs or anything, like, it'll be offered, but it's not like, hey, do this. Like, um, of course, there's times where I do it because I'm just having fun and I'm, in the moment. But yeah, no, it's never forced down your throat or anything. I don't know. My thought always was with not drinking, it's like, am I going to be missing out on something? Is it like, does it go hand in hand with the whole thing? And now I kind of realize more and more there's more people that are sober that are out there riding. It's gotten a
Mm,
lot easier and all that. And I think more people are just kind of over, going and grabbing a bunch of drinks and going out riding, just being reckless.
Yeah,
But
mhm.
yeah, no,
nothing
and the
good.
whole motorcycle culture though, there is a lot of drinking and drugs that fly around, but it's just if you surround yourself with it or not.
Yeah, it's
Right.
true.
And when did you start realizing for the final time, like, I gotta stop, like, I'm done? Were you having health issues? Because you said you didn't have any legal trouble, like health issues, or did you experience something?
I mean, part of it is I got this infection in my neck and I had to go in and get surgery. So
Mhm.
that between that infection, like it almost went septic, so it's like I was almost a walking dead man. After that, so I kind of went in, kind of stopped drinking a little bit, and then like once the infection and all that went down and all that, I started drinking again. And then it was probably 2 months after that that it started swelling up again on my neck and all. So once I went to the hospital, so they put me the first time I was there for 4 days, the second time I was there for 2 days. And after that second time I sat there and it's just like I need to, just clean up, get rid of all this in my life. And So that was one of the final straws of just doing it. And then just my two daughters and all, it's like I love them so much. So it's just like I need to do a lot better for them and to show them just a better role model and all that. And just not have alcohol in my life or anything like that. So then they also see like, oh, okay, you don't need this in your life, and life is better without any other substances.
Yes,
Between almost dying and then my kids, it was just like I'm over this 100%. And I mean, between the
definitely.
other times whenever I quit drinking and all that, so between quitting and all that and just knowing like how much better you feel, and then you just question
Mm,
like why do I keep going back? And
Yeah,
now
I'm looking
mhm.
at that picture of the neck injury or where the surgery took place. It's pretty gnarly looking. Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
saw that.
yeah, it's pretty good, and yeah, there's the drain tube that was in my neck too. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was not very exciting.
What happened there
Uh-uh.
exactly?
I think so. From what we come up with is like I had a bad molar and all that, and I think that's where the infection came from. So it was like my whole lymph nodes and all swelled up, and my mouth and everything swelled up, so I could barely drink or eat or anything like that. And it just caused a huge abscess in my neck. So in between, it was like the pressure on my neck and all that. It was causing pain through my ear, and that's where it started. And I thought I just had an earache, so I was just waiting for it to go away. And once the abscess got so big and I couldn't barely breathe or anything, that's when I finally went to the hospital. And so I went to the hospital, and right whenever I got there, they took a look. They did a CAT scan on me and everything. And the doctor comes out and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna rush you to the other hospital to get you into surgery right away." So we jammed to the other one, and yeah, it was like 45 minutes later, I'm on the table and they're cutting my neck open.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the medical field,
So
so I'm cringing. You must have been in a lot of pain and how long until you were like, you know what? I should go to the hospital because you must have been in a lot of pain.
yeah, it was like a week and a half of pain and all that. And it was like really bad headaches, earache, like throat pains and all that. And yeah, after that, when my mouth finally swelled up and my daughter came into the room and she's like, "Dad, you sound like shit. Like you need to go to the
Mm,
Yeah.
hospital." And it's like, yeah, I can't even barely drink my water. So yeah, it's like that's finally when I
yeah,
got up and I'm like, all right. Yeah, and I drove myself
fine.
to the hospital because I didn't take it serious enough. I didn't think it was anything that bad. So I drove, and then after
Right.
that they're like, "Okay, we're rushing you." And it's like, "Hey, can I spare the hospital like the ambulance ride? Can I drive myself?" They're like, "No, you're not in any shape to drive." So,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So
Well,
it
I'm
was yeah, it
glad
was a
you're
wild
okay.
ride.
So you have
Yeah.
how many kids do you have?
I have two daughters. So one just
Daughters.
turned 13 and then the other one is 2. So just
Okay.
a little one.
Did you meet your wife in recovery while you were sober or while you're actively drinking?
Mm,
The first one they're two separate moms. So the one I was married to for a while, but I met her. I believe I was actually sober when I met her. Yeah, so I was sober and then I started drinking, and yeah, we went through I think 8 years all together, and we ended up getting a divorce, and now she's actually dead sober after she went through drugs, alcohol, rehab, and all that stuff. So
okay.
the mom of my baby, the 2-year-old and all that, she drinks and she smokes a lot of weed and all that, but it's another one. Like she doesn't say anything or she's like, whatever, do your thing. I'm not gonna try and push you to drink or do anything like that.
Yeah.
Does it cause any
So we
issues
all just kind
between
of do
you,
our
like at all? Are you okay with her ever being intoxicated around you? That's okay with you and you're fine?
yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I have enough friends around that all drink and all that and smoke, and it doesn't bother me as long as they're not just drunk idiots and all that. And but
Right.
if they get to that point, I just leave anyways. So it doesn't really bother me as long as you're not trying to push it on me or anything. Like it's your own thing. Like the only
Same.
thing that I would have a problem with is if it was like around the kids and all that. So if
Mm,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody being a drunk moron in front of the kids. So other than that, it's kind of your choice, do your thing.
Good.
mm.
It's good.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
when you're looking back at thinking of like when you were drinking in excess or whatever, were you thinking about at the time, now that you can look back with a sober mind state, what kind of things that you were trying to numb from the past? Like, were there any other things beyond, say, your father's negligence and your mother and her lifestyle and stuff? Like, were there any other things you could think of that may have traumatized you growing up?
I mean, just part of it's like the abuse and all that and the neglect. And so, yeah, it was just to numb everything, just to escape everything. And I don't know, a lot of people thought I had a death wish and all that, but it was just more or less like I didn't care whether I lived or died or anything, that I was just going to do what I was going to do. So some of it was kind of an adrenaline junkie as well. So it's like I just wanted to go full bore on it. So I don't know, that's just it was exciting. And I mean, as bad as it to say it was like drinking and driving and stuff like that. Growing up in Arizona and all that, it was just to the extreme, out there doing 120, 130 miles per hour after drinking and all that. So it was more adrenaline rush and just, yeah, to have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
other than the family situation, it was like I just like going full speed. So that was always the hard part with drugs and all that.
Yeah, no,
The
understandable.
adrenaline that came with it.
When did drugs when did drugs come in the mix exactly? And like, were you ever doing those like to the point where that was becoming a huge problem on top of the drinking, or was that just kind of like you dabble here and there on a long night?
I just kind of dabbled on it. I don't know. I've never got addicted to really anything. It was like when I was 15, I started smoking weed. And then in between there, it was doing like acid whenever we could get it and all that. Axis, ecstasy, just whatever hallucinogenics and all that that came through. Like Coke every once in a while, but I never really cared about anything. Like, I don't, I'm not really too big into all the uppers and all that because I'm already up enough, but hallucinogenics were fun and smoking, but it was never anything that like I needed or anything. It was just kind of like maybe we should do it, or if somebody was just like, "Hey, we could get some mushrooms. You want to do them?" And I was like, "Fuck it, why not? What else are we gonna do?"
Yeah,
So it was
mushrooms
it
are
was
fun. I've done them a few times. Yeah, my last
yeah,
trip was really annoying though. Was really bad, and I never touched them again.
damn.
Forgot to try
I've
them.
never had a bad trip. They're they are fun, but it was like acid down there. And I mean, you would go on basically like a 10-hour journey, you're just totally out of your mind and it's like you have no idea what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
So
I've
that
never
Acid
done
I would never
acid.
try.
Yeah, I feel
Acid I
like
wouldn't
that would
try.
change my
I'm
life.
terrified of that. I'm almost certain I would have a bad trip. I'm not. No, no, no.
yeah, it's one like if you have any anxiety or depression or
Yeah,
any negativity, like negative thoughts in your own head, it's just like stay away from it.
Yeah,
my last shroom trip,
definitely.
I had been doing cocaine and drinking for since Friday night, and then Sunday morning, my buddy comes over first thing in the morning, and it's like that's around the time that I start to recover. I'm feeling the hangover from the last 2 days, and he comes over with a fruit roll up wrapped with mushrooms inside of the fruit roll up, and he's like, "Eat this," and I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll do some
Okay.
mushrooms today," and then I eat the
Yeah.
whole thing, and it's like half an eighth, which is a pretty good amount for one person. And immediately he's like, "All right, before we start tripping, let's go to the park or something." We go to this park in downtown Seattle, and all of a sudden I start tripping hard, and I'm going with the anxiety from all the drinking and coke that I did all weekend, and I'm like, "Just take me to my friend's house. I'm gonna go there. They're not even home." And I went to my friend's house and just spent the whole day in their bedroom, staring out the window, hanging out with their dog, and just like paranoid.
Mhm.
I don't know. So I never touched them. Not a
Holy
fun time.
fuck.
But
No.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've been around a
yeah,
lot of people
No.
that had a bad trip, but that was my problem is I never had a bad trip because like I don't get stuck in my own head. So it was I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, I ended up one time it was our old elementary school down there in Arizona. We ended up on the roof on it. We stacked all these lunch tables up and we're up on the roof and all there's a pigeon coop up there and we were jumping from rooftop to rooftop and it's like, yeah, just frying out of your mind. And it's one of
Yeah.
those you thinking like,
No.
man, if we would have missed one of those jumps and all that, like we would have hit the floor and probably died. It was
Right?
there was I was laying in the back of a truck and we were driving down the highway and I was just watching the stars and like everything connecting. I got up and I was just gonna walk out of the back of the truck and jump out. And it's like my friend pulled me in and it's like, you realize we're driving, 60 miles per hour down the freeway? And I was like, no, actually I did not. And it's
Actually,
like,
no,
I
I
was just
did
gonna
not.
walk
I'm sorry.
straight out. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, you just get too fucked up and you don't even know what you're doing or where you're at.
Yeah.
No,
No,
And
I'm
so I
I'm
totally.
think
really
that was
okay
kind
with
of,
not doing that.
Hmm.
yeah. And it was, I mean, it was exciting. But, and that was, yeah, no, we had drug runs that we went on. And there's times where, we went and got drugs and ended up with guns to our foreheads and all that. So
No,
it was just all,
I
it
feel
was
that.
just all, part of the adrenaline rush and fun, I guess.
Yeah,
I
a lot
had
of us are lucky to be alive right now.
gun
Yeah.
barrels to
Oh
the
God. Yeah.
forehead, and that needs as fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When I left Arizona at 18, whenever I quit and went sober, like I didn't tell a lot of people, and a lot of people just thought I died because they just figure they're like, there's no way you're seeing 18, let alone 21 years old. So
Yeah.
I went
Living
back on
recklessly.
vacation. Yeah, oh God, yeah. And I went back on vacation, and they're just like, oh, we thought you died. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
It's frightening.
Thanks for checking up on me, people.
Yeah, really. No,
not
we just
moved
thought you were.
away, died. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was wild, but and that's why I hit it,
Yeah.
and I was just like, holy shit, yeah, I gotta leave.
And then once I want to go back to once you ended up becoming sober, you decided for the final time you're done after this whole health scare situation. What did you do? Did you do what you did all the other times and just raw dog it and not drink anymore and just go about it? Or did you start a program? What do you do now to stay sober?
Yeah, no, I just raw dogged it again. I just decided one day, after that day in the hospital, it's just like, okay, I'm done with it. So just, some of my friends came over and they drank the last of the beer and the booze that was in the house. And no, I mean, a lot of it that keeps me on track too is just working out 5 days a week too. So that
Yeah.
keeps me on track because I don't want to wake up feeling like shit and have a half-ass workout because I had some beers or anything like that. But
Yeah.
overall, no, like I just told myself it was like this time it was more. I don't. It wasn't like I need to quit drinking. I was like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. So it's just set my mind to it, and it's like, yeah, I'm just over all of it now.
But I mean, I wouldn't even say that's just raw dogging it because I mean, I feel like the fact
Yeah.
that you got into fitness and taking care of your health and stuff is definitely hard work that helps with your recovery. So I think that's something
Hmm.
Yeah,
that's worth
yeah,
mentioning.
no, it makes it a lot easier just because of that. Yeah, I would rather go out there and I would rather work out and be full force on it than half-assing or anything like that.
Yeah,
You're definitely not feeling as good as you are and looking as good as you are off of drinking, 12 beers a night over, taking your
Hmm.
pre-workout and hitting the weights. So
exactly. Very
it
true.
makes it simple. And I have a
Very
handful of
true.
friends that are all taking breaks from drinking again. So it's kind of talking and keeping each other on track and all that too. And um yeah, and then me and Chris is sober strong too. And then that was just another one. I was like, all right, this guy's cool as hell. I like what he's doing. Um his whole apparel and then like putting a percentage of the proceeds towards like rehab clinics and all that kind of stuff. So it was seeing that one too, and it's just like, there's some good people out here, and it's like I want to be a part of it all.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
we're really big on Sober Strong. They're our
Yeah.
sponsor sponsor our show. They're the reasons we keep this going and they really motivate us and we love repping their brands. So like how did you get in contact with Chris and what's your guys' relationship and how do you like repping Sober Strong yourself?
Hmm.
I think what it was is I was just looking up like hashtag straight edge on Instagram, actually looking up bands and all that. And it just popped up on there. And so I was checking out his apparel and all that. So eventually I think I bought a shirt, and I was like, I sent him a message and I was bullshitting and like he kicked down a free shirt in there and I was just like, whoa, what the hell, dude? I just ordered one shirt. And so I was like,
Hmm.
just talk to him a little bit. And so we're just shooting the shit back and forth and all that. I made a comment on one of his posts. It was, God, what was it? It's like his 007 shirt. It's a black shirt with a little X patch on it. And I was like, dude, that shirt is sick. And so I was buying a sweater and he's like, well, if you buy the sweater, you might end up with a shirt in there. And so, yeah, he hooked it up and it's just like talking with him. Like he's just a super cool person, super legit, just down to earth and
Down to
all
earth.
that. And so, yeah, super.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and he's just all about helping people out and all that. And it's like he's actually
Yeah.
trying to do something good for people and all that instead of just like, hey, here's a Sober Strong shirt. Here, buy this and, you know, do good in your life. You know, he's actually trying to do something. So, yeah, meeting him has been super cool and all that too. And it's just like he'll send you messages. Me and him, like, we just shoot back and forth. So it definitely helps,
Yeah.
just stay positive and all that. If you're ever having a day where you're just down or whatever, it's like you got positive reinforcements and all that. So
So
yeah, no,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's a super, super good guy.
He is. Yeah. No, he's doing
Yeah.
so many good things for people out there. Not just like the quality of the clothing's incredible. Like,
Oh, God,
not
yeah.
to mention he'll toss in a free shirt every now and again, but like the graphics are
Yeah.
awesome, like the embroidery, the I feel like every shirt I have from them is gonna last me forever. So I mean, and I wear that almost every day. So it's like it's good stuff. And people ask me about it all the time, like no matter where I'm walking around. I was at the airport recently and people are just like, what is this that you're wearing? That's pretty awesome. You get to talk about it, and
Yeah.
then it strikes up conversations about recovery too with people and stuff, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm actually sober this long, how do I order it? I'm like, check out, use the code
Yeah.
rock bottom, get 15%
Yeah.
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. And
genuinely,
that's
it
what I tell
happens
people.
to
I'm
me
like,
at
dude,
work too. No,
Yeah.
you go ahead.
yeah, a lot
You
of
go ahead.
people, yeah, a lot of people ask about it, and it's whether they actually go on and buy it or not, but at least, it points them in the direction and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're all interested. And that's why I tell them, like, yeah, it's probably one of the nicest shirts you're going to own, like super soft, thick. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you were
I
saying,
hang all of mine. I don't hang t-shirts very often, but I hang all my sober strong t-shirts
Me
because I
too.
feel like they should go with my dress shirts. That's how seriously I
yeah,
take them.
Yeah. They gotta have
yeah,
their own
the
section.
sweater too.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
they have
sweaters
their
are
own
Not
so
only
section.
thick.
that, like we're all repping as a unit, and I say this to everyone, like, it naturally became kind of like a crew of just all of us repping apparel that we love and that's authentically good, that goes to a proceed that we all support, right? Recovery. But at the same time, we're all such a big unit that people are looking up to us and reaching out, and we're able to help. People are looking up to us and they're like, wow, they're wearing Sober Strong apparel. I could reach out to them. And we're all normal, authentic people. And just like the owner, Chris, you could literally reach out to
Yeah.
him and he'll speak to you like a normal person. He's a genuine, authentic person. He's a real person.
Yeah.
So that's why I love
Yeah, all
being a part of
authentic
this.
people, all like-minded, all in recovery. Nobody's full of shit. Like he only
No.
associates with people that I think he trusts and that he knows are about the mission, and I respect that about him. Like he's not, associating with anybody who's just saying, yeah, sobriety, whatever. They want people that are taking it seriously, that really do appreciate the fact that treatment centers are being taken care of because of the brand, and you got to be
Yeah.
on deck, on the same page.
Yeah, that's whenever, even when you just responded back, because you get a lot of people with either like a brand or doing something, and you'll like send them a message, and all you get is like a heart on it or something like that, or they seen it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're just like, damn, dude, I actually
Yeah.
wrote back, and yeah, and so he'll just ask how your day's going and all that. And so yeah, no, when he hit me up and he's like, hey, you want to be a brand ambassador for Sober Strong? I was like, fuck yeah, dude, super, super pumped on it. And it's like,
Heck yeah.
just, super stoked that he would even ask anything. So yeah, it's just like all the people have been super awesome and all. So it's like, hell yeah, I'll help,
Yeah.
support the cause and, help out as many people as possible. And it was like when you guys hit me up, and it's like, dude, even if you can help one person, like, hell yeah, it's worth it.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what we always say. So if this podcast helps one person, we found it
Mhm.
successful, and I think the brand is helping a lot more than one person. It's, touching a lot of people, I think, and got a lot of people that are repping the brand now. They're ambassadors for the brand. They support it. They support the cause. So, I love it. So it's a good
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, yeah, it's just fun being a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's like you
Exactly.
see everybody rocking it, and I don't know, it's kind of like back in the days when there was a little like straight edge cruise and all that, and it was like everybody was more family and all that, and it's like people were
Exactly.
willing to help each other out and all that. So yeah, it
Yeah.
feels like that,
Mhm.
but more, yeah, it's more of a family to where yeah, you can reach out to anybody. It's not like
Yeah.
somebody's going to be
Yeah.
too good for you or anything like that, or you ask them a
Yeah.
question, you're like, fuck, was that stupid?
And like we're
So,
all
yeah, no, it's just,
over different parts of America, and I think some in Canada. So it's like we're all different types of people too. We got, some like, rockers. We got, me, I'm a hip hop girl. We got, everybody's so different, yet we all are a family and a union. So
yeah,
there's somebody for everybody. If you feel comfortable enough to reach out because we're all there for you. It really
yeah,
is
for
like a
sure.
crew.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's exciting to see it growing too. And it's
Yeah,
just the more
No, it
people
really
we can
is.
definitely.
get into it, and like, and people see it too, it's like with your podcast, people see like these people were rock bottom, like they were doing shit, and it's like, and we all got help, one way or another, however you go about it, but it's like everybody can turn it around. So, and it's nice having, yeah,
Yeah.
having Sober Strong and all that to help out. Yeah, it's just a positive
Yeah.
force. It's amazing.
Yeah, I remember when I started the podcast and I met Rachel, and I didn't really know much about Sober Strong at the time, but when she sent me kind of the link to Instagram, and I just looked through for a few minutes, and I'm already like, yes, I want to work with these guys in some way, shape, or form. Like, and I was just like, it
Yeah,
just hit me. I was just like, this is a great brand. I mean,
Yeah.
the shirt I'm wearing right now, the next chapter is yours. I mean, I love that saying. It's
yeah, that one's a
Yes.
cool shirt too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep, love
And
it.
I
I have
do
a
have a
sweatshirt as
final.
well. That's how much I like it.
I have the sweat. I'm wearing the sweatshirt because it's in the 50s in Florida still.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I
it's
mean,
That
it's
would
it's
be
been
warm for
helpful.
over here.
But
50
I
something out here.
for real. So it's starting to, I guess, kind of
Yeah.
warm up, right? We gotta have hope
A
here.
little bit.
Yeah, it's like mid 50s, but then at the nights coming up in a couple days, it's supposed to drop into the low 30s again. So it's all over the place. But
Fun.
it's like the Pacific
It's gonna be hot
Northwest
here.
is, yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. I'm over in Idaho, East Idaho, so or North
Yeah.
Idaho, I mean. Yeah. It's pretty cold over
Yeah.
here.
I know. I just
But
want
if you
one
could
like
go
70
back,
degree day.
it's coming for us in Florida like within the next day or two. So it'll be back.
Yeah.
But I do have a closing question for you, Skylar. If you could go back if you could speak to anybody who's listening to this podcast right now that's struggling and wants to quit, sober curious, or is in early sobriety, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I don't know. That is a tough one. It's, I mean, whatever you're going through, it's like as long as you can find a good support system around you, any outlet, or yeah, seek out meetings or anything, whatever you feel is going to be the best for you. I mean, some people can raw dog it and go at it. Some people go to AA meetings. Some people like what I did whenever I completely moved to a different state and, surrounded myself with a different group of people. So I don't know. I think it's different from everybody, but it's just kind of seeking what works best for you. And it's mine is just not being around it. But even now, like I still go riding and I go to bars and all that with people and all that, and I have a Sprite or a water or something like that, so it doesn't bother me or tempt me or anything. But I know a lot of people go through meetings and all that. So it just depends on the person. Like, I don't know, do you have an addictive behavior? Like, are you an addict? Like, how far are you into it? What do you need? So yeah, it just depends on the person, what extreme they went to and how far they are. So I've just never had a problem with like being too addicted to it to where I needed to go to meetings or anything. Mine, it's I just got to not have that day where I get fucking bored and I'm just like, I'll take a beer, but
You notice
Mhm.
your relationships with your kids and your significant other and your friends like much healthier now?
yeah, oh God, yeah. Yeah, and it's not like on the weekend, where I'm sitting there having like a glass of vodka or anything like that. So it's, yeah, more hands-on, more just interaction and all that, and then waking up with a fresh head and all that. So yeah, it all makes life way easier and way better with relationships and all that.
What's
So
24 hours look like now? 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, 7 hours of sleep within those 24 hours. Other than that, it's waking up at 4:30 a.m., take a pre-workout creatine, work out for an hour, go do my 8 to 9 hours worth of work, and then after that, it's kind of whatever the weather will let me do right now. It's like
As
either
much
ride
riding as
motors.
possible.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Or like riding yard work or yeah, or just bullshitting with some friends and end up in my garage doing something, some project that I don't need to do, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
So, but
So
other than
true.
that, like summertime, it's a lot of riding, just going all over the place. We do Taco Tuesdays and all that, or try and find a lake or anything like that.
Good.
Mhm.
But
That's awesome.
yeah, so it's basically one of those just staying busy, from sun up, straight out of bed until you go down and pass out.
And the plan is to
Staying
stay sober for
disciplined.
good this time, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I know it won't be a problem. It's super easy this time. And that's yeah, it's like just doing everything now sober again and all that. It's just like I don't need any of it. And I have one of my sisters I talk to all the time too, and she's one where I don't think she's ever even had a beer or done a drug in her whole entire life. And so she's always a
Wow.
positive force too that I can bounce off to where, so much of the stuff like she took care of me for a while growing up and all that too. So it's like she's seen me at my best and worst and all that. And but it's like we have a solid relationship. So it's like that's
Good.
my
Mhm.
always like my go-to and all that too. So if I ever
Awesome.
had any doubt, I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to let my sister down. She's gonna think I'm an idiot. So that's just
Yeah,
like another
that's good.
backer to where it's like one more person. It's just that solid lifeline right there.
Well, that's good. That could go along with your like advice to our listeners who are struggling or sober curious is that, have those people in your life that keep you motivated, whether it's intentional or not. I have
Yeah.
some people in my life, my friends from the meetings. It's like if I went and drank, I would disappoint so many people, and I always keep that in my mind. Certain
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that I would hurt, and like I'm hurting more people than just myself if I screw up again. So yeah, that's good
But
to have
yeah,
those
Mhm.
people.
yeah, you just
I
feel
think
like
like
you're
that
letting
too.
everybody down. Yeah, I
My
Yeah,
God,
one of
yeah.
my
I
one of
mean,
my
I feel like a
brothers.
failure.
it's like
Yeah,
Rachel having, her birthday for her son yesterday, and it's like, would that have been all possible, 3 years ago, like, it's
No.
amazing that
yeah,
you could be there present now. So stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
what
it's
Something
were you saying
popped
just
about
up
your
in my
brother?
memories of what I looked like 3 years ago. On his what would that have been? His 11th birthday. I didn't even recognize myself. And I actually broke my arm that night because I was so
oh
drunk.
geez,
My elbow.
Jeez.
yeah,
So yeah, actually I was able to do a lot for my son this year. I'm very proud of that.
but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you
Awesome.
remember it all, and yeah, your kid's gonna remember a lot more of like,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
We
my
have a
mom was
good
awesome.
bond. I love him. He's
Yeah,
actually a huge fan of the podcast.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 13-year-old, she's just kind of like, whatever, I don't know. She might listen to it, she might not, but I don't know. At least if it helps keep her on track too, then that'll be awesome. But
Yeah.
she's
And I'm
such a
sure
I
good
she
might,
kid.
she
Yeah, she's
my
such
appreciated
son's
a
your
gonna
guys'
watch, so
relationship sober.
yes, of
yeah. Oh
course
God,
she
yeah,
does.
yeah. She's such a good kid, though. I always kind of ask her, I'm like, whose kid are you? Like, there's no way you're my kid. Like, I was a train wreck, and like, I can't even get you to cuss.
You did something right, man. Hey, it's good.
I know, right? I screwed up somehow, and I was like, between everything your parents did, and you're like, all right, I learned everything not to do, so now I got to try and do it complete opposite.
Opposite
Yeah.
of that,
But
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, I have
Awesome.
one of my brothers. He's been straight edge vegan for I want to say since like '98 or something like that. And so he's another
Whoa.
one where I bounce back and forth off of. So it's kind of just like, all right, Cody, don't let me be a dipshit again. But he's one. He just does it though. It's like no judgment or anything like that. And it's like he doesn't preach anything like straight edge or anything like that. It's just who he is. But
Mhm.
he's another one where yeah, it's definitely nice to have that person to talk to. And it's
Yeah,
like
the
even if
support.
you aren't like yeah, even if you aren't thinking about drinking or anything, it's just nice to have that support right there. Just a positive person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
I could
so it's
agree.
Surround
like,
yourself with positive people. Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, stay positive, surround yourself with it, and yeah, that's the way to go on it.
Good.
The way at
That's good
least,
advice.
you don't
I
knock
agree.
yourself in the dumps.
Yeah.
Mm.
I agree. Well,
Yeah.
let's,
I do
Rachel has
too.
any other questions. We appreciate you being on. Rachel, do you have anything else to ask?
Yeah, no. Thank you so much for sharing your story and coming on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
and
were
thank you guys
excited
for
and you made a
yeah,
lot of
thank you for
effort to
having
come
me.
on. Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you so
no,
much.
yeah, I was super pumped when you guys hit me up. So yeah, no, thank you guys.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. We appreciate that you rep Sober Strong as well, and we appreciate that you're living a sober life now and sharing your journey with us and my listeners and our listeners, and just every little bit helps, because everybody has a different background. And I would say that I really appreciate when we hear people going about recovery differently than others, because
Yeah.
we hear a lot about the meetings, we hear a lot about these different programs, and sometimes it's cool to hear, somebody going about it a different way, a different avenue, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, oh
Mhm.
yeah,
There's so
yeah,
many
and
different ways
everybody,
to say sober.
yeah, oh yeah, everybody is, yeah, you pick an outlet or something, or yeah, if you need people to talk to about it or anything, yeah, it's different from everybody, and that's yeah,
Definitely.
no, part of it is just your health, and like, dude, I'm already in my mid 40s. Like, what am I going to be like in my 50s or something if I keep going at that pace?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, I'd rather
Literally.
take, some aching pains from, squatting and doing, bad form on my workout over being drunk.
Exactly. At least you have a good story behind it,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So no, yeah, it's nice to, yeah, like you said, hear how people go about their recovery and all that. And then just, yeah, any way we can help is awesome. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from some people and all that and seeing what we can do from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Definitely.
man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
guys. It was
you.
fun. Yeah, thank you.
Rock Bottom with Ryan. No bullshit, just recovery.